Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to talk today about survivorship bias. It's one of my favorite cognitive biases to sort of keep on top of my mind to ensure I'm not kind of letting things slip. So as you know, we're inundated with videos and content telling us that this is the one way and the best way to get wealthy or to change your life, or whatever it may be. And so one of the issues with this type of content that we run into is that it really hits a cognitive bias that we all fall victim to, because we're all humans, and it's called survivorship bias. And so, just for brief context, I'll give you a little history lesson. So, survivorship bias came about during World War II when the military started essentially assessing planes as they returned home from combat. And one of the first things that they did is they looked at where the bullet holes were in the planes that returned. And the assessment showed that, we're getting a lot of bullet holes in the wings and certain parts of the body. And so the response to that was, oh, well, we need to beef up the plane in those areas because that's where they're getting shot the most. And that was the direction that the military was going to go. But this guy came up and spoke up and said, well, wait a minute, we're totally discounting all of the planes that don't return. Shouldn't that be important to think about? And so when you hear that, obviously we do need to take that into account. And so what about the planes that got shot in the other areas that don't return home? We're totally discounting that, and that actually is more important to take into account. So it's a bias that we all have. And so what it essentially means is that we look at the winners, or the survivors in this case, and we assess their situation and then take that and say, oh, well, that's what we should do. We should just follow the successes. And we totally discount all of the other examples that tried or kind of had the same circumstance or what have you, but they failed. And so it's really important to remember this, because when you hear someone telling you that they made $10 million doing whatever, understand that there's likely thousands of other people that have done and tried the same thing. If you don't know how they turned out, then why would you just take one example and essentially copy that and assume that that's going to lead you to the same success? And so with all the content we're fed today, it really hits that for all of us. So just something to think about. I hope, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of survivorship bias, but I hope it gives you something to think about and something to watch out for. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk soon.